All right, we are live. Greetings and welcome back once again. Hold on one second now. This is not going to be a long discussion, but it's something that touched me. And given that I usually come with things that we need to fix and all the things that are wrong with us, and sometimes things when they go right or when things appear to be on the right track, I think that we should give um, credence to it. We should stop and take an opportunity. So I was scrolling, reading news. I went outside today, went to the farmers market XYZ. So I was just looking through the news, and I didn't watch Miss World because I don't usually, in this day and time, watch a whole lot of this type of stuff. But the reaction from this young lady, Miss Nigeria, when Miss Jamaica was crowned, really touched me. I just want to have you guys like a misty eye, I'm saying, type of vibration. So I'm gonna read a few articles, and then I start to think, because something touches you in your heart. You're like, I wonder why this is touching me, and it goes back to something that we've went over before with different worldviews, right? And how different cultures have different worldviews. Now, remember, I shared Dr. Edwin Nichols' information, and he talked about the European worldview or their value system versus the um, African value system versus the Asian value system. In the European value system, you have to be first, you have to be the best, you have to be the MVP. So this particular event is who is the most, who is going to be crowned, who is the one and only. But you have people who are from a different value system, which will be Miss Nigeria and Miss Jamaica. So let me show you the video and let's read a little bit, and then we're going to tie this whole thing into solonomics and things that we observe, right? Because that's what is it about if we can't do those things? So let me see here. Let me share my screen. Uh, uh, uh. Display capture. I'm still not yet able to do what I do, but here we go. Miss World's 2019. Miss Nigeria's reaction to Jamaica's Tony Ann Singh winning the crown is melting hearts all over the internet. I wonder, when it says melting hearts, I mean it's touching your very soul. Okay? It's touching your very soul. Nekanchi Douglas is winning people's heart for her love for others, and she seems to be the real winner for many. Okay. Miss World 2019 has come to an end with Jamaica's Tony Ann Singh taking home the crown. However, among the celebration was another contestant who was making a place for herself in the people's hearts, and it was Nigeria's Nekanchi Douglas. Douglas was in the top 5, waiting for the winner of the event to be announced. Unlike other contestants, Douglas could not contain her excitement when Singh was announced the new Miss World. She overtly expressed her emotions as she quickly started to jump about with excitement. She then went on to hug Singh and looked so happy it was almost as if she had won the title. Fans were quick to express their joy seeing Douglas being supportive of another woman. One fan wrote, Nigerian women been showing the world. Now Nigerians are. I see tweets saying Miss Nigeria has a good heart and is amazing. Also remember how Miss Nigeria was all smiley and happy when South Africa won Miss Universe. So, okay, let me jump down and let's see if we can see the video. Let me go to this one over here and we can see the video. So this is the video. Jamaica. Without hesitation, without the moment she heard Miss Jamaica, without hesitation, like they said, it was as if she won. Oh gosh, it was as if she won. The way she started celebrating her sister, okay, and just this moment of it's not just about you, or it's not just about me, but it's this collaboration. Now, going back to the world paradigm, and giving credit to some of the things that Dr. Edwin Nichols said, when Miss Nigeria was interviewed by somebody in the crowd, and they asked her, let me see if I can get that. Hold on. Here we go. Let's see what she says here.
And good job wearing your natural hair for the final.
Look, guess what? 3 black queens.
Oh yes. You go, come to Jamaica.
So first thing she says, guess what? 3 black queens. So she is acknowledging her sisters and not just thinking that it's just me. I have to get to the top, X, Y, and Z. But let's continue to listen.
Definitely. Definitely, like she just won.
Yes. What was she like? What was she like during the whole competition, though?
She was amazing. She was. You know what? There was a lot of times in this kind of competition. There's a lot of times that you're like, oh my god, this is really too much for me.
I don't know if you can hear it, but she's saying that a lot of times in the competition, he's asking how was Miss Jamaica, and he's saying a lot of times in the competition, you get down. You say maybe this is too much, it's overwhelming.
Like sometimes you wonder and there was a time I wondered what's my purpose, and you really need to. How can I make this place better? How can I make my purpose better? And she's the one that would be like, yo, listen, you got this. She would tell you.
Wow.
You know, she's so.
I cut it there, but basically she's saying that Miss Jamaica was the one who kept pushing you forward. So she was in a collaborative effort that even though we're all in this competition and we're supposed to be competing against each other, we're all in this together. And if one of us win, we all win. And so that's the energy that was unseen behind the scenes that Miss Nigeria is testifying to. That was the energy that Miss Jamaica came into the competition with. So you see the reaction of this young girl, which is priceless, that she's really overjoyed that the person who was holding things up or encouraging others while she herself was in a similar situation actually won. This is something that it's something that pierces the soul, because it takes us out of this me or you mentality. It takes us out of this predatorial mentality, like the one person has to take the other person down type stuff, right? As if we all can't win in our own respective ways. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what living in certain spaces that is built in a certain way does to us. It takes away our humanity. We see each other as prey, somebody to conquer, somebody to do better than, somebody to get more views than, and that means that attributes value to you. It doesn't, because at the end of the day, if there's no one around for you to share it with, if you've reached places by stepping on people's neck and kicking them down and making enemies just because it's Tuesday, and when you get to where you're going to realize that it's relationships, and and having someone and people to share your success with is going to really matter. I don't know how many times we have to watch people learn this lesson the hard way. No one wants to say, you know what, that their time has come, and there's no, like my mother always says, there's no one around to say, can you pass me a glass of water? You know what I mean? That means you're old and you on in your ages and you've done all you've done, and no one is checking in on you. There's so many. If you want to see a lot of lonely people, go to nursing homes where people's families, and sometimes it's not always, the families who's doing it. It may have been the mindset of the person who ended up in a nursing home, where it was business that was the most important thing, or money that was the most important thing, or whatever it is. And then when they got old and they became, quote, a burden to their children or their family, then they dispose of them. And that's what a lot of people do. They put them in these nursing homes, and oh, do they have the money? Or even if they don't have the money, they'll be all right. And I don't know if you guys have seen those nursing home videos where they collaborate with daycares, where they bring the younger children in to sit with. I think it's a beautiful thing to bring those who have been here and those who are just coming, and bringing the younger children together with the older children. Older children. Essentially, we're all children, but the elders and the younger ones together, and they accompany them. They spend time with them. Relationships is basically what I'm saying. And like I said, this was beautiful. Like tears came to my eye just that one sister could be this happy, quote, happy, or filled with joy and able to express it for another, instead of this thought process that it's always hate. And even the conversation with ADLS, quote, versus black American, not black American, closest immigrants, and this thought that this is all that's happening. It's not all that's happening. It's whatever you choose to see. It's whatever you choose to acknowledge, because there is good out there. It depends on whether or not you like, that's just a one off, or whether or not you take time to acknowledge, wow, this was a beautiful thing. Heru says the ancestors are beautiful, eternally character. Yeah, this shows beauty in character for both of them, because we wouldn't have known what um what Miss Nigeria, or why she reacted like that, if the man didn't ask her. And then we understood now that this is the energy that Miss Jamaica was putting forth. You know what I'm saying? It's like today I went out to, and I'm gonna wind down, I'm not gonna stay long. I went out to the farmers market, and you know, being a a pop-up shop, let me say. I have a shop, but going to different places so that you can get exposure for what it is that you do is not an easy job. You break down, you prepare, then you set up your tent, then you pull down your tent, and you have other vendors, small business vendors, who do this for their living. They're trying. So, sometimes we watch bigger shows and we're like, yeah, it's all glamorous. And for many people, no, it's not. For many people, they're going out to these places to say, hey, if I don't go out there, I don't eat. So I have to hustle, like on the very, very ground floor. A lot of us, skip over the ground floor and want to like we have arrived. So I found myself giving encouragement to a fellow vendor, and many vendors, and I have had some come back to me like, wow, Mona, you give out a lot of information. It's like, because I want you to succeed. Like, if I'm the only one winning, you know what I mean, then to me that doesn't make any sense. What's going on, Nigel? We on deck. If I'm the only one winning, it doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? Because to encourage others to be the best who they are, eh, there's only one of us. Each and every one of us, there's only one of us. That's why we're called individuals. And this paradigm, this world structure will have us to think that we have to compete against each other. Because if I don't eat, if you eat, then I can't eat, and if I eat, then you can't eat. That's not true. There's land as far as the eye can see. There's resources as far as the eye can see. We're only taught to think that our resources are limited. And you'll be surprised to understand how many doors you can open when you want for your brother or your sister as you want for yourself. I told the elder a story, and I'll leave you guys with this story. I remember one day I was in New York, when I was living in New York, and if you're familiar with Brooklyn or New York, they have a lot of fresh fruit stands across from each other, especially in that part of Brooklyn. They'll be across from each other, up the street from each other. There'll be like three, four, and you're walking down the street like, why are there three, four street vendors? But do you notice that other cultures may have the same exact store? Like if you go to Chinatown or different places, they may start up the same exact business operation or store on the same block. If you're selling a t-shirt, our thought process is, if I'm selling a t-shirt, then nobody else can sell a t-shirt, right? So anyway, there was two fruit stand stores across the Korean owned across the street from each other, and I happened to go into one, asking him if he had, I forgot what it was, and the man looks at me and is like, you know what, I don't have it, but give me a minute. And this man left his store, went across the street, in New York in the house. Went across, and people, New York gets a bad rap too. You know what I'm saying? New York gets a bad rap, but there's things when you are a New Yorker, you from New York, you will see things that doesn't make the news cycle. You know what I mean? New Yorkers just have their own funny, different kind of way, but it's not all that people are saying it is. But the guy went across the street to the other store. He got the item and came back over and sold it. And I'm like, well, look at that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't like, oh, I'm not going over there to Juan because, da 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 da. He was like, all right, we're going to get it done. And they got it done. So these are just little things that we can learn along the way to understand that, there's enough for everybody. It's something that we have to learn. Maybe my spot is not your spot and your spot is not my spot, but kind of like Miss Nigeria's reaction, to, like, I'm acknowledging you as a person and you earned this. And I'm genuinely glad that you have come into this position and that you were recognized. That's a beautiful thing. So when you see a beautiful thing, when you see a beautiful flower or a rose or occurrence, just stop and appreciate it so that the world doesn't seem so dark and dingy. Because I promise you, it's beauty in the world if we just choose to see it. So with that said, I'm not going to stay long. If you guys watch the other thing that I did on Friday concerning R. Kelly, let me know if you watched the other things that I put my hypothesis in. If you did, leave comments so we can have a discourse and we can go from there. But everybody, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I was out today slinging that vegan food and I'm a bit tired. So I'm going to talk to you guys later. All right.